All right. So we're back here once again on another Wednesday night under the lights here on the couch on Couch Coach Live. We are back at it once again. What's going on, Maui?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Just chilling. Just, working. Same old, man. Saying nothing new with me.
Okay. Is it a delay?
I don't know. But can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just talking about me.
Okay. No, not
Okay,
good. I think we're good. We're all set.
okay.
But yeah, nothing new with me. Same old. So we got a great show ladder for you tonight. So we it will recap a pair of game fives and pretty much essentially talking about the Celtics on the brink as well as the Suns on the brink. Giannis in somewhat of a cringe type of play on Twitter. Bronny heads to USC. And then we also talk about some other things and give our game ball and our final thoughts for the week, man. So that's pretty much how the show's gonna go down tonight. And we might sprinkle in some stuff, some Laker Warrior talk, and also some other talk as well. So we'll get that squared away. So what we'll do, we'll be right back. We're gonna kick that intro right now for you, and we'll be right back. All right. And I'm gonna get intro one more time. Not sure what on earth is going on with this, so we'll get that going one more time. And all right. All right, so I think we're back on. I don't know what on earth is
There you
going
go.
on.
Hey, it's getting
All right.
weird today.
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, the timing of it's really odd. So we will keep the intro one more time, and then we'll be right back. Make sure everything is all set. All right, so we're back here once again on Couch Coach Live. I guess hopefully the technical difficulties has ceased, but we're back at it here again once again on a Wednesday night here under the lights on the couch on Couch Coach Live. So first off, before we get the podcast going, definitely got to give a huge shout out to the good folks at Goalie. head over to goalie.com. Use the promo code CouchCoach to give yourself 10% off at checkout. So we have two teams that are essentially on the brink of elimination as we are recording this live tonight. So we have the Boston Celtics, obviously down 3-2 after last night's 115-103 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers over this team. Essentially, your thoughts on this Game 5 between the Sixers and the Celtics?
From what I look at it, man, my phone is acting so weird today. But from what I'm looking at it, man, it's free throws. You know, if you're not knocking down the threes like you're supposed to, man, make your free throws. You know, and I think that I see Tatum did well. I seen Hartford's got to contribute also. You know, like when you look at the Sixers, everybody's contributing in their own way. You know, Embiid 30, Harden 17, almost getting a triple double. Maxey, it's like you got to put him in the game plan. I mean, he got 30 points last night. You know what I mean? And then Harris, I think he got like 14 or 17. But outside of Tatum, Brown, like Hartford didn't get any points. What's his name? What's the point guard? It starts with a B. Is Bodovich, Brodick?
I'm muted. Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He you know, he's got to get him some more points. That's why they got him. You know what I mean? He's got to, and then after that, when you really look at it, you got to make your free throws. You know, if you really look at the threes that they missed, they should have made. You got to, because the 76ers is going to foul you. You know what I mean? But you got to make your free throws.
Yeah. A very interesting game, and it's funny to think that Philly, they snapped 11 game 5 losing streak. So that might be dating back to maybe the Allen Iverson days. I mean, honestly,
wow.
11 straight games that they've lost game 5s on the road, and that was snapped last night. In this game, you just look at it just from start to finish. Philly held the advantage in the beginning. They start off to a strong start, because it's funny to think, even in this game, you know, Boston's only down by 9.5, but then Boston kept on going. You see, you know, obviously, you know, basketball's a game of runs. You see Boston kind of charging back in the second half, but then, you know, they kept on going. And credit to Joel Embiid. This is, you know, he's the league MVP. He had that type of MVP type of game where essentially he essentially had this team on his back. I mean, and credit Tyrese Maxey, 30 points. And this is where it's funny when we look at this type of scenario where, I know we talked about it earlier season as far as not Joel Embiid, but Joe Mazzulla, where, you know, like what's going to be the difference between him and Ime Udoka. This is another kind of classic case, because you think about this team last year was down 3-2 against Milwaukee, ended up coming back and winning game 7. And what was kind of one of the key things was adjustments. I think we always said, like, it's great in the regular season. It's a different beast. You know, this team could win 50-60 plus games in their sleep. But now, in this point now where their backs against the wall, the adjustments, and this is going to be kind of one of those things where we see what Joe Mazzulla is going to cook up, and potentially these next 2 games, if there will be 2 games per se. But so the in this part of it. So obviously with the Celtics on the brink, will they be going back to Boston for game 7?
I think they could, man. It's just that it's not as, it do need adjustments. It's just they need 1 or 2 people. Horford cannot have 0 points. He's got to give you, if anything, 7. You know what I mean? Like, one thing about Doc Rivers teams, PJ Tucker, they're going to foul you. That's really what they did. They were just a little bit more aggressive. You know what I mean? And I was hoping that Boston would have learned that from last year, because that's exactly what in the championship, that's exactly what the Warriors did. They were just a little more aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, it comes off like they want it better because they're trying harder. They're playing harder defense. You know, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. But then when I looked at the numbers, I was like, if the team is being aggressive, you have to use that aggression against them. and that's why you got to make your free throws. You know what I mean? And when you look at the numbers and everything, that's what it came down to is basically the free throws. So yes, I do. I think Tatum to me looked like he was playing at a higher level. He just needs some help. All the main guys made the points that they needed to make. They just need Al Horford or Brogdon. I think that's his name, right? That's it, right?
Brogdon.
Yeah. He got to give you more than 7 points. Why did they get him? He a guard. He's got to be able to give you at least 12, 15. I mean, come on now. Not 7 points.
Yeah, man. He's sixth man of the year. And like you said, especially in this type of game, and it's a home game as well. We know we always look at role players pretty much playing better at home.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and I know I listened to Inside the NBA, and a lot, I feel like either it was Chuck or Shaq. One of them was saying, it's just one of those games. But in this spot, you really can't have that kind of game, especially like of this type of magnitude, because obviously with you being now the prospect of being down 3-2 and essentially that's happening. But yeah, I think we going to a game 7
Me too.
in this series. Yeah. The thing is, I really can't see Philly kind of getting off to that type of start once again. I mean, I think that was the catalyst of all this, where obviously when you get that lead, it just helps your confidence. It just helps you just keep going further and further. And and obviously you're looking at Boston, they just really couldn't play behind that matchup. But I definitely see a game 7 in this series for sure. I definitely think this is going to be a what
was the score?
Comeback. It was 115 to 103.
103, yeah. And it was like they shot like the Boston would hit no threes. And I'm like, if you're not hitting any threes, go to the line, and they missed a lot of free throws, man.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that's essentially, them on the brink. And we, talked about another team that's on the brink. It's gonna be the Phoenix Suns, which obviously now they're down 3-2 in their matchup with the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, this one was a 118-102 loss as the Nuggets won this game. Just very interesting game of a sort, especially from the contribution on the bench. Well, contributions all together for Denver. And then you're just looking at just like, and how the Phoenix Suns, in a sense, kind of got unraveled in this game as far as from a, mental standpoint. So what was your thoughts on last night's game 5?
Same thing. I was telling the guy, I felt like with the Suns, I said, when you play the Nuggets, you got to speed the game up. But how long is that really going to last? Especially with Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? But, the Nuggets is deep, really deep this year. You know what I mean? But it's the same thing. Even though you're speeding the game up, you got fatigue. And, when you fatigue, you know what happens? You miss free throws. So I did the same thing. I was like, man, they wasn't hitting their free throws. Like, what I mean? It's so weird because it's that simple. You know what I mean? It's that simple. But I mean, I see Book and Durant doing this thing, and I see Payne doing his thing. I mean, when is Ayton gonna give you a 25-point game? Like, it really should be Ayton giving you 25. It should be Booker giving you, like, the only way for them to win, Booker and Durant gotta make more than 35 points a game.
About 60, probably 60.
You wrong for that. But
you're right. Right.
So, like, you got to take that pressure off. Come on, Ayton. Like, think about if Ayton went in there and tried to dominate Joker.
If that ain't gonna happen, World Hunger gonna happen before he dominate Joker.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, and it's crazy because it's like one day we should talk about it. There's like at least a bunch of players probably in the NFL and in the NBA that we like. We see their potential more than they see him. They not even seem like they trying. They just happy they got their paycheck.
Shoot. But Aiden was getting ate up in that game. It was just, and that was another one where you just look at like Jokic. He had 29, 13, and 12. He had a triple double. And then it's one of those where this is an interesting series. So obviously, is the home team wins in this series, which is kind of bizarre. You look at even a guy like a Bruce Brown,
Right.
a career high 25
Right.
points.
25 points. Right.
Murray chipped in with 19. Porter Jr. chipped in with 19. And then you even look at, and it's another one too, where you look at, it's weird because we always said like the bench was going to be, Phoenix was going to be like the Achilles heel.
Right.
But even in this game, they got outscored bench point wise, 34-26. So it wasn't as bad as it's been in the past. But that's one thing in this series, it's almost like if you look at the tail of the tape of all of these 5 games, it's pretty much who bench scores the most is the team that essentially wins. So you just look at that, and then and then you look at the chippiness in this game, because obviously there was a few plays where Shamet and Murray,
right.
kind of got tangled up, and then Jokic once again is and got caught another crossfire when he was going, and then Kevin Durant shoved him. So it's very interesting. This is a very interesting series. So before we close on this series,
I think the Suns and the Nuggets got a pretty good rivalry, because didn't something happen last year against them that
I don't
he
know.
got kicked out the game, a double tech or something like that? The Joker.
I don't know.
I meant to look it up.
And I know, and then obviously with the situation with the owner, what was it? I get on now, my days get confused now. I think that was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think when they had the owner here, but so is Denver coming? Is Denver gonna come back in Game 7, or when they go back to Denver, they preparing for Game 1 of the West Conference Finals?
It's Denver, man. Like, I think if you try to intimidate them, you got to try to bully them, intimidate them to beat them. You know what I mean? And you got to run them. So I don't know. Like right now, I don't know. I'm gonna say they're gonna close them out.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Well, if you listen to the podcast, you probably listen to it on Thursday. If you listen to us now, but we think you're gonna listen to it later.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight they getting eliminated. It's Cancun. It's Cancun on 3. Phoenix. What Shaq said? Prepare one set of clothes.
Right.
Because they not going back to Denver. This series is over tomorrow night. If you listen to it live now, if you listen to it later, Thursday night. This series is over. This series is over. Cancun on 3 for the Phoenix Suns. Gone fishing. Your boy Chuck is gonna be on the cover on that Gone Fishing. It's over. It's a wrap. I looked at they just looked at Phoenix even last night. Something about that last night. Their body language looked really defeatist, and I think it's over. I think it's a wrap. And even if I know Chris Paul probably play, because he did.
He can't.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I know they said he was missing games 3 through 5.
And but Go ahead.
But yeah, I'm saying, but they haven't ruled him out. I'll put that.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's what I'm saying. And he looked okay in drills yesterday.
Okay.
He was all right, but I'm just saying, even if Chris Paul does play in Game 6, Cancun on 3.
I don't even think he can help. I don't even think this is crazy about him. We really pay attention to him. Like, he's like a bench guard. Like, he's not even like, what is Chris Paul really doing to even effectively change the dynamic of the game? He's really not. That's not him. He's not that dude no more.
Yeah, 38.
Especially with Ayton.
38. It's happy. Hey, man.
It ain't like he got a young big or a big that he could, do a screen and throw a lob to that's going to, that ain't Ayton.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say it's done for Chris Paul, but it's time. I mean, you got to think about it. This man been in the league counting right. So this is probably his 18-19 season coming up, in the fall.
Right.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been around for a good minute. But but yeah, maybe he'll give them somewhat of a boost, morale boost if he's at home. But
what do you think they're gonna do?
What you mean?
Like once they lose tomorrow, what could the Suns really do? Like, ain't they stuck with everybody?
That they need to at least acquire a bench for sure. They need to acquire a bench. They need to. I mean, I think they're gonna pretty much have everybody. I mean, I don't know because I'm not sure about Aiden's contract situation off the top of my head. I will try to see if I can move him to acquire some depth and some pieces, and like you said, get a point guard. So in the event, like if Chris Paul does go down with injuries, you can have somewhat of a almost it's kind of similar to almost like how when the Clippers when they used to have Eric Bledsoe as his backup. Like somebody almost to that similar, even though we ain't talking about Eric Bledsoe, but somewhat of an Eric Bledsoe type of caliber at that particular time, maybe 10 plus years ago, however long that was when it was with the Clippers, but something like of that. But Phoenix got some potential down the line. I think if they can just bolster some of that, bolster and get some depth, because you look at it like a Denver situation, they could be a Denver if they get, because Denver, and I think that's what we always praise Denver of their depth, where you can have guys, can step up. You got Murray can go off on a date, Michael Porter Jr., so you look at those, they got pieces. And then KCP as well. He can show flashes. He can have one hell of a night and do his thing. And even look at what happened with Bruce Brown last night.
Right.
He left 25. So yeah, I think Phoenix, because as long as you got your core and Booker and KD.
Right.
I think you just accentuate what you got.
Man, go bit. As long as you got teams like Houston, OKC, the Wizards, North Carolina, Charlotte, you know what I mean? I'm just saying some young pieces that you could go down there, you know what I mean? Orlando.
Houston about to come up. Houston might be, I wouldn't say they're gonna be the OKC of the West, but they coming. Pause, like Charles Barkley saying, "Lord, I sound like Charles Barkley now."
Let me ask you a question. Would you get rid of Sabonis?
Not for Sacramento?
No. Yeah. For how he played in the playoffs, right? Would you get rid of him?
No.
For real?
No way. And I think that's all was like an inexperienced type of thing. But they'll get better now, because he's like he's like one of their best players.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, as far as the trade in the Phoenix,
I'm just saying how he played in the playoffs, and almost like damn near a non-factor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He wouldn't shoot a three. He wouldn't shoot his 10-footers or 12-footers, and
it's like, to me it's a one-off. Like I ain't ready to write him off quite yet. I think it's just with the playoff stuff, because now if he have maybe 2 years in a row doing this and kind of coming up short, then maybe But I definitely think you keep him, because you definitely got to keep him.
Okay.
I think he's an emerging star, because I think he makes second team.
Yeah, he made second team.
Second team, yeah, he made second team, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely got to keep,
We disagree.
Keep him on the phone.
I'm letting his ass go, but that's me.
Yeah.
I was disappointed in him.
But
especially coming from the East, like he came from the Pacers, so they banged a lot. I thought he would be a little bit tougher.
And then I don't know, I think that it was a mental thing too with the whole thing with Draymond. So but I'm keeping him. He's one of your core guys for Sacramento for sure. But so let's talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, I said it out loud and I said it right. So a cookie for me. So, and dude been in the league for almost 10 years now. But anyway, so, Giannis has been eliminated. It's been about almost 2 weeks, about 10 plus days. So, we thinking, the whole failure thing happened almost 2 weeks ago. So everything she was chilling. Mike Budenholzer got fired on Friday, and all kind of stuff happened. It's just been quiet. It's been very quiet in Giannis camp. But I don't know, for some odd reason yesterday, Giannis, for some bizarre reason, went on social media and shared this, and I'm gonna should be coming up shortly on the screen. And pretty much him. It's a picture right here, and this is from Giannis Twitter. Out of the debate. I'm playing. Pause. So, and just a regular picture, just him just sitting on the bench, look like he's in deep thought, and maybe just looking at something from afar. So, very timing. Obviously, this is during a time where they released it's all teams. Giannis didn't make two of his teammates did make first team, and Brook Lopez and Drew Holiday. So, your thoughts on this quasi, I guess to say the least, this interesting Twitter post. Your thoughts on it?
Well, you already said it. Lopez and Holiday did make it, and I'm guessing I don't know. I think it's more frustration of everything. Being someone in the same position, even when, even though he, not winning a championship, but still somewhat as a team in the same position, like always at the top three in the East. You know what I mean? Injuries. I don't think he feels that the team really is ascending like it should. You know what I mean? Not as dominant as it should be. And I don't know, I think he's just frustrated because it's almost like everybody say he's the best player in the league and he's sitting at home. You know what I mean? And then he's the face of the team. So, and then the coach got fired. They not, and maybe his eyes, he feeling like the coach got fired, but it's really they probably blaming me. You know what I mean? So that's why I look at it. You know what I mean? I feel like, he's basically doing exactly what most of the players do when they make it they not in the playoffs anymore. They start saying, you know what, next season, you know what I mean? Next season is going to be on. I'm not going to be disrespected anymore. You know what I mean? So that's why I look at it. But I just think that he got to make his free throws. Missed 13 free
Yeah,
throws.
I yeah. I love it. I actually love that somebody of his caliber is actually
Uh-huh.
saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the work. Stop." He's tired of being. He has a chip on his shoulder, which is one of those things where how he's saying that. That's why I think everybody drew the conclusion about the defensive team because
Right.
essentially no one is really putting any like and weirdly as it sounds like no one's really putting the blame on him as far
On
as
him, yeah.
the failures of the Milwaukee Bucks. And you think the set even with the press conference, he got a lot of love from from the failure comment, the failure press conference in the sense. So
Right.
I actually love this edge of him, and I think I think it's really boiled down to not being named that them defensive teams. So I
Mm-hmm.
look at it just from that standpoint of I love that he has a chip on the shoulder, and I think we're going to see the fruits of his summer labor come into next year, and then it's just really really interesting how this Milwaukee Bucks team, because now they're essentially going to be at a crossroads as well. So
Right.
you just look at now with the new head coach, what they're going to do with Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, what they're going to do with that trio going forward. Like, is it one of those where, and then you never know who's a new head coach, who's going to be the head coach with
Right.
them, and how they want to move this team going forward. But I love it. If I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, I'm 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 chomping at the bit, ready to see what Giannis is doing this summer and getting himself ready for next season.
I mean, I'm with you. I just feel like what else could he do besides get better with his free throw? He shoot threes better. He's dominant. He's blocking shots. His basketball IQ has gotten better. He's thinking. It's that the only thing I could think he could do is
In
they need to
range.
let him in that room, and they need to really build a team around him. You know what I mean? Or hopefully he's there to necessarily say, if y'all fired my coach, so let me get help picking the next coach, because I still think when you sit there and look at the Bucks, they got a squad. They probably just need one or two pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
And
right
I think,
there.
and that captain squad, I think it's just guys just didn't show up in the time. And it was funny because I always looked at that team, and I think we talked about this a few weeks ago.
Right.
I thought Jay Crowder was going to be almost like
Right.
their equivalent to them losing PJ Tucker,
Right.
where the 3-and-D kind of guy. So
Right.
I figured he was going to fit to that mold, and especially considering the fact he was coming off of 8-9 months of not playing. So you figured, he had some fresh legs going down the stretch, and I figured that was going to work out. And a lot of guys, it is weird, like guys that you think you envisioned was going to work out, but didn't. Like Serge, I definitely thought Serge was going to be like huge because I always think about like as far as if he didn't miss that Clipper series against Phoenix, then the Clippers would have made the playoff. Made the finals. So I always look at that Serge, that type of Serge where he's that type of difference maker. But I don't know. The offseason is definitely gonna be interesting for this team, and it's gonna be, and the good thing about this team, about Milwaukee, because a lot of things is going to happen in this Eastern Conference. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the Celtics. I think the Celtics is going to be really interesting this offseason, regardless of what happened. I don't know what's going to happen with Jaylen Brown down. At this point, just from a fiscal standpoint, they're going to have to make a decision about that duo real fast. And then is James Harden coming back to Philly? So Milwaukee's in a good spot, in my personal opinion, because I think it's going to be somewhat of a Eastern Conference kind of shift in a sense. So
So, how many of them Celtics you think going to play for Houston?
I don't know, but
I thought about that today.
It might be some guys, but I like what Houston doing, and then Lord knows, Lord forbid if they get the number 1 pick on Tuesday, it's a wrap. Like if they can get Wembanyama in that duo and then a couple of some other pieces together, it's going,
Hey, remember, because I was looking at the 76ers, right? They got House. I said, man, they got nothing but the Rockets. So I was like, DJ. I'm like, it ain't nothing but the 76ers and the Houston Rockets put together. That's crazy. That's why they there.
Yeah, because he's still there, right? The GM. I can't believe his name. I can't believe I forgot his name. But essentially, yep. But so the West, not the West. Ooh, the East is gonna be very, very interesting this summer, to say the least. So talk a little NBA. We talk a little NBA. Guess we'll stay in the hoops realm, but we're gonna actually stay. We're gonna keep it in the collegiate level. So we gotta talk about a decision that was made on Saturday afternoon via Bronny's Instagram, where he essentially not declared, but he pretty much said that he's going to be playing for USC this year coming up. So your thoughts on Bronny James going to USC?
And he didn't want to go to Ohio, too cold. But he wanted to stay home, man. You know what I mean? He wanted to, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Want to stay close to home, and what did I put down here? I said it's a lot of good things with him. I guess he can help this team, and I think that with the Pac-12 going where it's going, I think that he's going to have a lot of star power based upon that. It seemed like from what everybody was saying, he's been really pushing that he wanted to go that way. So that's good. At least he's not away, and they can still somewhat protecting, and keep him out of somewhat trouble. But I also don't think that because I think in a year they really didn't look at him as a good prospect. But I think this past year they saw the height. They see that his body got more manly. He ended up being a really good defender. They said that he ended up being a great team player. He could get his own shot and then he a knockdown shooter too. So he's moving up and he's moving up fast. But I don't really think he's gonna be a one and done. The only reason I would think he would do one and done because of you don't want to get hurt. But when LeBron said he's the first one to go to college in my family, what I thought was like when on the shop um, Draymond Green was when PJ Tucker was on there, and PJ Tucker was like, "Man, I was ready to get out of college." And then Draymond kept saying, "Man, you don't know the feeling that it was way better than the NBA." But he went to Michigan State, you know what I mean? And he was like, "Man, that rivalry and blah blah blah." He said, "Man, it was the best feeling in the world." And LeBron kind of like looking at him like, because he never was able to do that, even though he did it in high school and he did NBA. Well, Bronny's going to be able to be a part of that. So I really think that I don't. It may not be one and done, and I think if Bronny really want to have, because he seemed like he want to have his own path. I really think I mean, he could do what he do. You know what I'm saying? It's paid for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I think he may actually like playing because he looked like a college basketball player to me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I was so excited for him. Just the fact that he did make the announcement his way.
Right.
And I give kudos to just not just Bronny but just the family.
Right.
Essentially, this whole recruiting process was really kind of quiet, and
Right.
it's kind of where they kind of control the narrative. And I just even love like even when he was in at the USA camp a few weeks ago, and people asked about his recruiting, and he pretty much the PR person said, "Hey, we just here talking about the camp." So I definitely this whole process alone itself, but yeah, I love the fact of him going to USC. This USC team is going to be good. This is going to be a good basketball team. This is probably going to be a team that's going to probably going to be preseason wise going to be probably a top 10, not top 10, maybe about a top 15 team in the country.
Right.
You're looking, they're probably going to be favorites in the Pac-12. You just look at it, just even with the people that are coming into this squad. Also, Isaiah Collier, he in one of his he's going to be coming into the fold. He's a fast-star point guard that's going to lead. So, of course, Coach Andy Enfield is going to have now a pure point guard at the fold. DJ Rodman, he's coming over from Washington State. I think he'll be a nice stabilizer presence at the forward position. This team is going to be loaded, and the good thing about Bronny's situation, more than likely he's probably going to come off the bench because they have a guy the name of Boogie Ellis, who's just probably one of their best players on the team. He was, obviously he was their best player last year. So I think, and that's the good thing about the situation for Bronny. I think, when you look at those type of situations where he's going to earn everything that he gets. So it's not going to be, so people who going to try to hate him, because he's LeBron's son. No. He's going to get it out the mud if he gets playing time at USC this year. And he's probably going to get some significant time. But this is not going to be one of those where it's like the road is paid for him. He's going to have to put in work. And I'm so glad that he's taking this path. And like you said, to your point where you say he's a team player, because you think about it, probably more likely he will, be coming out the bench. And like, those type of things, when you have that type of fanfare and how people surmise it, man, well, this guy – he's got to be a starter. No, he's gonna be coming off the bench, but he's gonna make a significant impact on this team. But I'm really excited, and all I gotta say is I gotta get my coffee ready for them 10:30 starts on 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, because this is gonna be a really exciting team to watch.
Do you think in the transfer poll a lot of people may come because he's there?
Well, I think the only one that really came was DJ Rodman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the deadline is, I think this week or next week. I forgot what day the deadline is.
Okay.
But yeah, they got a nice team. I think we talked. Also I think they got I think Kobe Johnson's back. Who else? Then they also another guy that came in, Arrington Page. He's actually a teammate of Isaiah Collier. So yeah, that USC team is gonna be loaded. It's gonna be really fun to watch. Get your caffeine, get your snacks ready, because it's gonna be Pac-12 at the dark, and we ain't talking about football. We're gonna be Pac-12 at the dark basketball. So Tuesday night,
I think he's better.
Yeah,
I think he's better than what people really think. He's kind of like it. I think that's something he might have got from his dad, where he turns it up, probably turns it on when he needs to turn it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think you'll see that a lot at UCLA because especially with his ability to catch and shoot, I think he's going to get those type of opportunities. And you got to think about it, he's coming from a team like Sierra Canyon, so it's kind of like
Hmm.
USC is a big stage.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to put Sierra Canyon and USC
Right.
like on the next thing, but he's been around good players. I mean, he
Right.
played with Amari Bailey, he played with the best college athletes, you know, in the last 4 to 5 years. I mean, he's played with these type of guys. So it's kind of one of
Right.
those ways where the stage is perfect for him. The
Right.
stage is
I
set
mean, he
for him.
Bronny
So
James.
for sure. For
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing where but he's in his own lane. And I think that's the beauty thing about it all, where it's not, people, want to chart this path for him. Oh, he need
Hmm.
to go here, he need to go there. He went to the best situation. Like you said, he could be away. He could be right at home,
Right.
and that's good for his family, so his family could be able to see him. So that's I think that's the beauty thing about it all too, where, I think Staples and where USC play are like 10 minutes away from each other. So,
Right. That's what they
yeah,
said. They said that he could play a game and he could go see his dad, still go
yep,
and sit, because he's been doing that more lately. Like I see him more. I used to see his the wife more, but now I'm starting to see
yeah,
Bronny there more.
yeah, because
That's what's
shoot,
up.
yeah, because Bryce killing in the AAU circuit. That's why you don't see him. He killing it now.
You know who Bryce is, right?
Who?
Bryce is LaMelo. Bryce is the
Yeah,
social
yeah,
media. He
yeah,
Bryce got messed around, had the it factor. Be
for
like,
sure.
I'm not joking, bro.
Yeah, because
Bryce be
he's all on my TikTok. Like it's
right.
weird because he's like I don't know for some odd reason I just see him doing dances. I'm just like, where did this come from? Yeah, yep, he is. He
he,
could be legit.
he gonna-
Yeah.
what was I gonna say?
Did they say what
Um,
school he was? What school is he going to now? Because I know he's not going to Sierra Canyon. I
oh,
know
I
they
don't
said.
know. I don't know.
I know they because I think he go. This is. I know this sounds crazy because I know I was reading an article a few weeks ago and they were saying because I know Chris Paul's son going to some school out in California too. So I don't know if
Hmm.
they're gonna be teammates as well. So I
He
don't
gonna
know.
be dangerous. He gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, a little
Like his
CP.
his his back to the basket game is
Yeah,
crazy. Like
yeah,
only thing with Bronny, and I don't know, but I hope that he can get a crew like his dad got. I think that's one of the best thing and the biggest thing about his
yeah.
dad is his posse. You know,
Yeah, that's what your boy Phil said.
that's
Hey,
your
a
boy Phil
posse.
said. That's
I'm
what your
like,
boy Phil
Phil.
said.
I be telling y'all, boy, y'all shoot. What I tell y'all, hey, tagger stripes. Hey, when people tell you who they are, believe them.
Hey man,
He been
but
telling y'all. He
John
been telling us.
Sally
Yeah,
on Vlad spoke on it, man, and it kind of he shut Vlad up. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Because he's like, I can't stick up for Philly. He said, but let me explain something to y'all. He's the Maverick. He's this, he's that. But word. But the bottom line is, I hope he get him a crew. I don't know if he got one now, but while he in college, you know, he may find one.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it's going to definitely interesting what's going on up there. But yeah, definitely got to get my coffee intake. Take it especially right around this time, like 9:20. Get your little espresso shot. Stay at about 1 o'clock at night and catch USC play.
Man, you ain't
Well,
staying up there late, are you?
yeah, probably more likely. Probably would, yeah, and yeah, because USC is actually it's gonna be a good team.
Yeah, I got you.
And bar anything catastrophic, I think they're gonna be they're gonna be they're gonna be a good team. And like you said, I think it's really exciting seeing him in the NCAA tournament. I think that's gonna be kind of the neat thing to see him.
Yeah.
And I think even at that time, he'll get better. And that's the thing about it as the season progresses. And I think he'll definitely be a integral part of their success this year.
Mm.
But now I still think he won't be the starter. But He can definitely come off that bench and that catch and shoot ability. He can get some off. Like almost kind of remind me almost kind of like how he was in the All-American game. But yeah, McDonald's.
That's what's up. I'm happy for him though, man. I mean, it was really touching. LeBron said, "Man, this is the first young man. He the first one in our family to go to college."
That's
and
amazing.
I just put everything in perspective.
Sure
what you really doing everything for?
Yep. It's all worth it. At the end of the day, those type of moments ain't worth it. And yep, for him to go on to college and have those type of moments and like I said, carve his own path. And
right.
And before we get off this topic, I'm just and this happens all the time. And I think I've always had this sensational like anger when young adults make these decisions to go to college. This probably dates back to when I first started doing radio, like in 2012. And I remember it was a guy, Curtis Grant. He went to Ohio State. No, he wouldn't. No, my bad. Oh, Curtis, my bad. But it was that wasn't Curtis Grant. It was it was Derek Green. See, but actually, so Derek Green, he played for Hermitage. He was number one running back in the state of Virginia. And we had him on. This was in 2012, I think. Yeah, because he was class 2013, I think. So he ended up going to Michigan. So essentially, I remember people were talking about at that time he's a 17-year-old kid. Now I think he's almost 30. It really scares me. And I remember people were so upset. People were like commenting on my stuff, like, "Oh, why did he go here? He should have went here." And the same thing go with this Bronny thing. So this has been like a 13, 12, 12-year thing for me. And it's like the comments is just like, bro, why is these grown ass men upset about a decision that a 18-year-old child said? And I know why, but I don't understand. I just want to at least get to a point where the root of this, what the hell did this vitriol come from because of an 18-year-old kid making a decision? I just don't get it.
Hey, Young, I remember we had a close friend to our family was supposed to that played at my brother's high school, Hopewell, was supposed to go to Virginia Tech.
Yep.
And at the last minute, he decided to go to another college. And they said Twitter went crazy. And all the racism and everything came out and all this other stuff. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. So
crazy.
Actually to retract. So matter of fact, the previous story, to get my facts straight, Curtis Grant actually did go to Ohio State because he did go to Hermitage, but I was talking about Derek Green, his former teammate at Hermitage, that the running back that did go to actually Michigan. So just to clear it up. But yeah, it's like, but it's just it just gets on my it's like one of my pet peeves. This is like, it's just so stupid. And they're just like making these comments. Oh, he wants to be close to his mommy. It's like, bro, like,
have you seen his mommy?
All right, now. I think I gave you an alley hoop. Now I gave you an unnecessary alley hoop on that one. So. I mean,
am I wrong?
I mean, I don't think there was no incorrectness in your analysis at all. But I mean, and it just speaks to his family. I mean,
okay, let's say this. Even though it is the James family, but who goes to every one of his games?
His mama,
right?
And
his mother go every.
His mama,
right.
Yeah.
So and his dad tried to go as much as he can, and that's why I said I wish that Bron would retire, because that stuff mean a lot to him. I could tell, you know what I mean? Like he playing in a game, and then he didn't even shake nobody's hand. He left so he can go see Bryce play. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I know they have their own agenda and they have their own plans. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So They just executing goals. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. Like,
Yep.
they a close knit crew.
Family.
You know what I mean? All of them. They waited. They got rid of the fat. They close knit. All of them. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
Yep.
You
And I
know.
totally understand because if I was in
Me
this
too.
predicament, yep, I would. Shoot, I'd be taking my ass either VCU or University of Richmond for
Right.
sure. Because I need my family to be there with me.
Right.
Even at this,
Right. And
even
you
at
know
this,
what's
yeah.
crazy? Like I know where your family live at, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I know where you live at. It's like two
Mm-hmm.
different worlds. So even if you go even if you go to VCU or Union or whatever,
Yeah.
but you want to get away, you can go see your family. And it's like, okay, cool. And you ain't got to drive. I'm telling you, drive 15 minutes. It's like two different worlds.
Yes, yeah. For sure. Especially in LA.
I just told my daughter that. I said, we live down here in Hopewell and blah blah blah. I said, your cousin, he went through all the craziness, but now he going to VCU. He is free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
In the same city. Right.
right, he's free. And he only
Right.
15 minutes away. 15, 20
Exactly.
minutes away. You ain't
That's
always
real.
gotta go now. And then I could see if it was snowing there all the time and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, get me out of here.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Like if they still lived in Ohio, oh yeah, get me the hell out of Ohio.
Word. Word. People in Ohio ignorant. They love Ohio, but they be like, when you leave and come back, they be like, the hell you doing back here? What's wrong
Right,
with
right. Just like when he came, just like when Bronny came back. Everybody looked at him like he was crazy.
That's why look, everybody that hated him was so happy for him when he said he was going to Miami. And then they was like, conversations was, you crazy? Who the hell don't want to go to Miami?
Right. It's like I would be mad. Like he going to Miami.
Yeah, but he could
Right.
be. It's nothing you could say to even try to define. Well, he didn't have to do it that way. Well, what way should he done it? Text,
Right. Pigeons? Pigeons?
right? You know what I'm saying?
Telegraph? What's the
Right,
thing used to be a
right.
telegraph?
Make an
Because imagine,
NFT.
right. I knew it a telegraph. I would have had a telegraph and let Jim Gray read it. I am taking my talents to South Beach.
He really wanted to say, "Man, I'm taking my ass." That's not
Right.
beat. Have y'all been down there? Okay, then. I know every time he walked out his house and just seen palm trees. Think about it,
Oh,
B.
oof.
Remember when we was on the road and we walked
Yeah.
out? We was in what airport we was at? Was that Oakland?
You talking about San Jose? You talking about? Oh yeah, when we was in San Jose.
That was San Jose
Yeah,
Airport.
yeah. You talking about when we first got there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was San Jose. Oh
Okay. And
yeah,
then when we walked out and we saw palm trees and how everybody was looking, and we
yeah,
like
yeah.
we had just left Ohio and it was snow. We looking like,
Right, exactly.
man,
You
think
kidding
about you
me?
walk out every night and you see that. I got a homegirl that just came from Florida, and
Yeah.
that's all she kept dogging. She don't even smoke. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. And I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like, whatever.
Oh yeah, and then to be to live and to live in LA and just yeah, of course. I mean, I would do that in a heartbeat. And like I said, Brian, I would too. You think I'm gonna leave to go to Columbus, Ohio? Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
When I
No,
can have the same
nah.
thing here,
Right. And I can have that nice Southern California breeze and with
I
the
can
sunshine
understand if it
every
was
day.
football.
Yeah, but nah. Give me that nice cool breeze, that Southern California.
Hey,
Take that,
what
yeah.
was that Samoan guy, the Polynesian guy that went from Hawaii and played for Notre Dame? What was his name?
Oh yeah, Manti Te'o.
Yeah, he was tripping. He should have went right to the USC. He was tripping.
Right. Cause ain't no way you gonna have me in South Bend, Indiana. Nope.
He was tripping. He was tripping.
Yeah, trust me.
And Troy Polamalu was like, "You're tripping. You should have came."
Yeah. Because actually, because he would have he would have got over that girl real quick.
Really quick.
Real quick.
Tripping.
Southern California, hey.
Man, I'm sorry.
I mean, I know, man, he would have stayed. If he would have been the SC, trust me. Oh, it would have been a real chick going down for real. It'd have been some
Right.
real. It'd have been some junks coming this
Right.
way. He
Right.
forgot about that chick in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
My girlfriend died. Oh, all right, there's some co-eds up the
Right.
street.
I mean,
But
what's wrong?
we can say that joke because she didn't die in real life.
She
So I know
didn't die yet.
People probably forgot about the story.
At that time, she wasn't even a she. She's a she now, though.
Well, oh God. All right. I'm not gonna lie. I was confused for like the first 15 minutes. I was like, why are we calling? I swear to you, because I was like, huh? Because at first I really sincerely got confused. Because I was like, okay, I thought the dude name was Ronaya, and then he was like, no, never mind.
Right.
When he said, "Oh, don't worry about me," like
I was just blown that he kept. See how narcissistic he was because he kept talking about the other person like a certain way, and I was like, "Yo, that is still you."
Right, and that's what. Because you know what, I look at it twice, right? So I didn't read the subtitle because they had a subtitle that said that, hey, this person is talking like in past tense because now they're this.
Right.
I ignored that. Right. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I'm thinking to myself, like I really almost thought to myself, what's going on? Because like I thought the situation was with the dude that was a generation full of football players. Why is this happening?
Right.
And I swear to you, it was about 15 minutes. And I was really lost. Right. I got lost in a lot
I didn't. I was sitting there like, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. And it's weird. Yeah. I vaguely remember all those guys on ESPN talking about it. I kind of like, but they all should apologize. That's what I wanted to happen. Like, all y'all made fun of him and did this and that. Y'all should apologize, man.
But all that type of stuff, I'm telling you, and that's what like it's so sad about all type of situation. Like all the situations where we've realized they're wrong, like no one ever comes back. Like now you're looking at what's going on about Meta Reza. Meta Reza actually he was called the punt guard. So he was at the time was with the Buffalo Bills. Then there's an allegation that came about that said that he raped an underage girl.
Right.
So obviously we know how that happens. When that stuff goes down, you pretty much they're gonna get rid of you. And the Buffalo Bills got rid of him. So now there's evidence now to prove that he wasn't even there at the time of the said rape. So, but like you said, no one is talking about that. You don't see how like other networks are talking about this type of stuff. No one is but they were quick to tell you that the Buffalo Bills released them because of this. But now nobody's not gonna come back. What I said that's like about 9 months ago, and retract, but say, hey, this came out about the accuser of Meta Reza. But like you said, it's never gonna happen. Like you said, and it's not fair. It's just, I hate that, especially like you said, like they should apologize. It's a lot, like you should.
And if anything, apology. If anything, apology.
Yeah, and like to keep it back on Manti Te'o, yeah, because y'all essentially made him the butt of jokes, and now even though his career did pan out, luckily his career did pan out pretty good, but but he could have got a higher, he could have been higher in the draft. So it's one of those things where it's like people looked at it as like it's a character flaw, like they looked at him like, well, like he's, like as far as how can he be a leader? Because I think they even talked about that in the movie where I think a scout or whoever, somebody, a league official was like, well, if my memory serves correct, I don't know if it's maybe from the documentary, but from what I remember back when it actually happened in real time, that they question his leadership skills. They question his ability on the football field due to this, incident that he was a victim of.
Right. That eventually became 70% of people, like right now, it's probably one of the most popular things is to scam somebody.
Yeah. Because at that time, we didn't, they have a show now for it.
Right.
We knew about catfishing. I mean, Friday, someone she looked like Janet Jackson,
Right.
but she's Freddie Jackson.
And that's
But
why they laugh. Like I remember
yeah,
that dude from I want to say his name, but the dude from ESPN was trying to talk and he kind of was like it ain't never happened before. Like that stuff happens all the time.
it
When a person
does.
say
Yeah.
they this, but there's something else. I know for a fact if you did anything on AOL and you was in the AOL chat,
Oh yeah.
I ain't really rock with it, but I got plenty of homeboys like, hey man, your mom home? Well, I got this jump.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
For sure. Oh yeah. AL chat used to be this stuff. ASL. A6 location, and then and pics.
Like you say, well, meet me at the Bars and Noble. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you sit out in the car and wait to see what she looked like.
Yep. And then you like, all right, circle back around.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's the classic. Oh, meet me at VCC. RIP.
Right.
It's in the comments, but
Right. You look.
yeah.
Well, she ain't that bad. Okay.
She all right. Yeah, because it's true. Them pic, and you think about now, even now with the advent of like having a cell phone and you can take a picture right then and there or do a video chat. We didn't have video chats and all type of stuff. We didn't have that technology back in even now, even back in when I was coming up. But then just imagine like even in Manti Te'o's case where, it's a lot
Did he
different.
talk to her on the phone or they just type online?
I think they talked on the phone.
That's crazy.
It is.
Because I know now a lot of people still just do online stuff. Like I know we're not really jumping off subject, but I know a bunch of females that are meeting like man just through these sites, and they be like, it's almost like them dudes could be in prison just talking to you.
Yeah.
And they be having real conversations like, oh, he's supposed to meet up with me, and then they never show up. And they keep going and keep going and keep going and making. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you look at like Catfish, like that show. Like it's so crazy how you be thinking people get caught up and be in these long term situations and don't video chat somebody or whatever. I'm like, and then they're not reluctant to like, link or anything. I'm like, let's just me like when when I was dating that stuff. Oh, let's do something this weekend. Let's just nip this in the bud. See if I like you, you like me. All right, cool. If you don't, it's okay. Because I'm not waiting no 2 or 3 months or 2 weeks. You free this weekend? All right, let's do this. Nah, ain't nobody got time for that.
I never really did it, B. I never really did it. But I had a whole bunch of homeboys, and they be like, man, your mom home? I'd be like, no, I got the baby. My little brother. Oh, okay. I'm gonna come by with the jump.
Yeah.
All right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. It was some good times, especially AOL chat. AOL chat was legit.
But y'all was having fun.
I did somewhat like of a catfish situation, but I'll leave that in a book one day. But I'll just leave that alone.
My luck is I've always a homeboy of mine would be like, hey man, my chick got a girl for you. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I give it a chance. But I'm looking, I already know what's good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I give her a chance. And I'm like, oh my God.
You babysitting.
I used to hate
that. That's why I don't hang with people no more, for real. Because I always used to be the one that had to babysit. And I'm like, man, no.
Hey man, I ain't gonna front. You attract who you are, and I can be trifling. So
nope. I'm not babysitting. I know I'm a big dude, but I ain't trying to babysit baby D. I'm mad to this day. Like, nope.
That's why it's really upset.
Nah, man. I used to hate that. And I just be like, look, I'm not hanging out with y'all no more. Because y'all gonna have me out here babysitting the most ugliest, friendliest, like, don't give a damn. It'd be like,
oh my God.
I'm like, look, nope, none of that. That's why So I'm glad I became older.
Man, let me tell
That
you,
was frustrating, bro.
he trying you too. Be like getting all smart and everything. You like, I was gonna do something, but since you think you better than what you are,
Right.
for real, a
I
whole
was
bunch
like,
of times
man.
my buddy's mad at me. Sean, stop. No, Sean, stop. When you playing with the girl, I'm like, man, she got
I ain't doing right.
hair under her armpit.
No. Nope. I'm not doing that no more. Over there, I smell like a seafood buffet. No, I'm all right. Never had me babysit none of that no more. I'm done with y'all, man. I swear.
Yo, I'm gonna put in the comments a pivot to put that dude. What's his name again? By time,
Channing
what's
Crowder.
that?
Who?
No. The Samoan, the Polynesian dude.
Talking about Manti Te'o.
I'm gonna put that on pivot and say, man, they should have him on the show because I
I
think Netflix they did him greasy. B.
They
Nobody
did.
interviewed him besides since that Netflix special. They
Yeah,
need to talk to him. I want to hear some more.
Yeah, that was really a really interesting story, and I think we all fell for it too. And I think that's the crazy thing about it all. Because I remember when his girlfriend died, like right before the Michigan game, he balled the hell out. I like, dude, that was almost like a has-been like performance on a defensive part, on a defensive end. So yeah, that was wild. That was what a time to be alive back then. What a time.
Right.
But all right. So we put a bow on this week's Couch Coach Live. So we got who gets this week's game ball?
Oh man, I didn't really know who to give it to, so I was like, I just keep it basic. I'm gonna give it to Lonnie Walker the fourth. Within in the fourth quarter of the last playoff game, game four, he started, but he in the fourth quarter he made 15 points. He was 6 for 9. He had 2 assists, 3 rebounds. He's been on the bench since the immaculate trade that they've made around the trade deadline. But anybody that watched the Lakers, we kept saying that he should be getting minutes because of athleticism. He could shoot. He wasn't scared. So I think that really, we all knew the Lakers are better than what people think. I think that Ham just, Beasley being who he is, but thank God they done put him on the bench because Beasley was killing me. But the game ball goes to Alani Walker the four.
Yeah. And shout out to all these various networks that show that Darvin Ham dunked when he broke the backboard. That happened. That was at the Richmond Coliseum. So RIP to the Richmond Coliseum.
Right.
What a jewel in our beautiful city that's no longer there. But RIP to the Richmond Coliseum for sure. So
right.
Game ball this week. So it's funny that we talked about a college commit in Bronny James. A very special one this week. My game ball's got to go to Jackie Taylor. She has committed to play volleyball at the University of North Carolina.
Okay.
She's a part of class of 2024 class out of Gulliver Prep High School in Florida. I know you think to yourself, Jackie Taylor, that should ring a bell to at least to Commanders fans as well. Jackie is actually the daughter of the late Sean Taylor. Obviously, when the situation went down almost 16 years ago, she was 18 months old at the time of the situation. So now Jackie's all grown up, junior in high school, and headed to UNC. Definitely huge shout out to Jackie, and definitely looking forward to seeing what she can do at UNC. And definitely prayers to Bo Jackson. He'll be having a procedure. I think it's gonna be at the end of the week. He's gonna have a procedure this week because essentially for the last year he's been dealing with a situation where he has had hiccups for the whole entire year. So hopefully that this procedure they will perform on him this week will help alleviate that ailment for Bo Jackson. But definitely prayers up to Bo Jackson. So, final thoughts before we head on out.
Oh man, great show. I had some difficulty with my phone where it keeps wanting to black out, but I had to pick it up and keep it going. But great show, man. I always like when we get to freestyle and people get to really see how our chemistry. You know what I mean? Um, but I have not watched the last two Laker games. I'm not even going to lie to you, and I'm not
Mm,
watching the one tonight. I said
wow.
I'm too
Everybody
emotionally
gonna win.
attached,
So they gonna
huh?
win, huh? So they gonna win, huh?
I just can't do it, man. I'm too emotionally attached, and I don't need that in my life right now. But
Yeah,
yeah, great show though, man. I can't wait till next week.
for sure. And shout out to Mike Greenberg talking about some. Oh, they should rest the starters in Game 5.
He's
Uh,
tripping.
I'm like, why would you do that? And you could potentially have 3 days off if you win tonight. The motivation is to
Uh,
win tonight, so you don't have to play to potentially as early as Sunday. You
right.
can have three
If
days
they
off.
lose tonight, though, I can't wait to talk to you next week. Oh, there's some drama empty in that joint, in that place.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there always will be. But yeah, man. Once again, great show tonight. Definitely cannot wait. We are less than 24 hours away from the completion of the schedule release. We had some great tidbits, some little teasers today, but the year, I cannot wait till the schedule is released. On which, if you listen to the show now, it's tomorrow. But if you listen to it, tomorrow when it's released. Today is the day of the schedule release. I'm looking forward to it. I can plan the rest of my year, so I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely excited for this the schedule release, and yeah.
That's what's up.
Yep, and pretty much follow us on social media anyway. Get your social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Couch Coach Live. Also, the website, couchcoachlive.com. And then check out the podcast anyway. You get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, we're there. And also check out our YouTube page as well. And then the website, couchcoachlive.com. So pretty much got anything and everything on all the variety of the platforms. So
Right, right.
yeah, man. So another great show. This has been this week's Couch Coach Live, man. We will catch you guys on the next episode, and we're out.